Nicole Montalvo was a copywriter based in Chicago, and she ended up having her son December 2019 before COVID. Her husband was a house painter and then owned his own contracting firm. The family was a median range family in their region because they made $100,000 a year. The family ended up having to put their son in daycare, which is $1,000 per month. The family had to put their son in daycare while Nicole worked, but then suddenly she ended up having to work from home during COVID, and her son was able to stay home with her, which reduced the child care. Nicole then found another job and had to resign, putting her son back into daycare because she and her husband had to end up paying for mortgage. She stated that every week she paid for child care no matter what, even though she had other higher expenses as well. According to the article, the first 5 years started March 6, 2024. Children under 5 end up having to go to child care because their parents have to go to work. 20% of families throughout the year pay $36,000 just for child care alone. Today, I have proved why child care should be given to all income tax brackets, not just low income tax brackets. First, I will explain the problem, the cause, and then the solution. My first problem being socioeconomic, cited CQ Researcher, January 24, 2025. Targeted child care. Targeted child care is basically for not available to all income families, only families with low income. Oftentimes, women, parents miss out on work because they can't afford child care and their mortgage at the same time, or they even oftentimes make too much money to qualify for the child care programs. Choosing between mortgage and child care can oftentimes be hard. My second problem being segregation, cited UCLA Health Policy, April 2025. Oftentimes, family or parents move cities or move states to try to accommodate and find places where they can fit in that take low-income families. Children ages 5 and under, predominantly children of color, are the ones that struggle the most with unmet educational needs. The population increased to 40% between 2015 and 2022, from 1.5 million to 2.1 million. Now that I have presented my problems, I will now go on to present my causes. Cause number 2, targeted child care, cited Third Way, October 16, 2025. Targeted child care, talking about middle class families that are making minimum wage, which is the bare minimum in California. 40% of families have to wait up to 6 months just to receive child care or a babysitter, being that it's so high impact in the U.S. and parents need child care or babysitters in order to go to work. Oftentimes, they struggle, especially in rural families where there's oftentimes single mothers barely making ends meet and missing out on child care as well. It's hard for people that live in rural areas more than people that live in uptown areas. My second cause is the high cost of child care and unlimited child care. Cited The Guardian, March 2025. It is a financial strain that places families into poverty, which is taking lines of credit. Oftentimes, families end up getting into debt because they have to take out loans, being that they're not being able to meet their basic needs, their basic necessities because of child care. Oftentimes, families have to commute hours away to find daycares throughout their state or their city. Or parents oftentimes stay at home, result to no job, just so that they can save funds and rather put their funds into their home than to put it into child care. This is my PowerPoint. Studying child care relief should apply to all income tax brackets, also known as universal child care. If universal child care was applied to all income tax brackets, mothers can work to support their homes. They'll be able to afford health care, and children ages 0 to 5 can grow and develop basic educational needs. Also, parents won't have to stay at home because they can't afford child care assistance. Now going on to my arguments of opposing side. The wealthy oftentimes, of course, make more money in taxes, and families that live on the higher coast are used to center-based childcare, which is also known as high-end childcare, and oftentimes in California end up having to pay $1,900 to $19,000. To refute the opposing side, oftentimes families reach out to government assistance because of the high cost of childcare. They're having to end up reaching out to secondary effects, unaffordable childcare, reduced work, which is parents missing out on work, being that either the operations of their job is passing the hours of operation of the daycare. Some parents have to work midnight, early hours, or even late at night. And if you have small kids, that's never easy. Oftentimes they have to resort to welfare as well, which is EBT, SNAP, housing, Medicare, Medicaid, just in order to survive in our daily life. Now on to my solutions. My first solution being societal, cited Educational Week, September 24, 2025, universal child care, being that New Mexico is the first state in the U.S. to provide universal child care, and it is actually benefiting its social economic benefits. Families that join the Universal Child Care Program in New Mexico can save up to $12,000 a year. On to my second, being the individual, cited County Government, October 1st, 2024. It is supporting politicians that care about universal child care, which we need more today in the U.S. Ro Khanna advances the American Child Care Act, and it is for families that are low income, and he is trying to reduce the pay by $10 for families around the nation. The federal government will then assist traditional child care settings, support stay-at-home moms, and also give back to caregivers that support our babysitters or child care in the U.S. Today I approve why income tax brackets should be applied to, why child care should be applied to all income tax brackets, not just low income tax brackets, because everybody around the nation needs them. Childcare is never easy, and parents need to go to work in order to provide for their family. Nicole oftentimes struggled, but her and her husband overcame it, even though they had a long road, and they got mortgage assistance and was able to financially provide for her family.